We're back for season 2.
Yes, it's bigger. It's badder. It's...
Oh, just get on with it.
Badscripts.
Good evening and welcome back to Badscripts Presents The Last Resort. And we are chapter 3 now. Let's introduce to you the man that needs no introduction, because I've probably done it about 100 times so far on this podcast, but I'll do it anyway. My best friend in the world, the incredulous Mr. Mike Garlia. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hello. Yes, we are scraping the barrel as far as introductions go at this point. So I think we can put that to rest now. I think you've introduced me every which way possible. But it is a pleasure to be here as always and to be called your best friend forever. That's so lovely. Thank you.
I didn't say forever. I just said best friend.
No, I added that in my head.
All right.
I know other people are circling, Steve. I know people who live closer to you. I know that you're doing loads of stuff at weekends. I watch your Instagram feed. I know what you're up to. Not that I'm stalking much, but I'm just saying, if there's anyone kind of thinking of getting in that best friend space, then they can back the hell off, because I'm here.
I don't think anybody could take your place, Mike. I'll just say that. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's for your interpretation. But
definitely bad. Definitely bad. It's like you've been friends with me that long, you just have to put up with it now and just accept the fact that it is what it is.
I've said to you before, finding a new best friend seems like too much hard work now, so I'm just going to have to settle.
You do. You have to go through CVs and screening, and then those kind of mandates where you're feeling each other out.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
anyway, moving swiftly
didn't
on.
work too well for me, that's for sure.
So, Mike, it's January, or at the time of recording, it's January. The very last day of January, in fact. So I was wondering how you're getting on in 2023 so far. How has your year gone?
It's funny, you know, and I started out very pessimistically, actually. And, you know, it dawned on me that when people say, Happy New Year, and then you go, yes, Happy New Year to you too. Well, you know, there's a view on that it's a bit early to tell, isn't it? So when people have said to me, Happy New Year, and I've just said, I'll tell you in August, because then at least half the year's gone.
Well, see, I've got a counter for that, because I don't think they're stating a fact. I think they're offering a wish of a Happy New Year for
it's
you.
A gift. It's a Happy New
saying,
Year. It's a gift.
You have a Happy New Year. I want you to have a Happy New Year. That's what they're saying. Not it's a Happy New Year and therefore... Because why would you do that at the beginning of it? Surely it would have been like, it was a happy year at the end of the year, not at the beginning.
Yeah, but how many people actually mean it?
Well, no, very few. It's like, you know...
It's like a thing to say that you don't know. And when is the cut-off period for Happy New Year's? When do you stop saying it?
Well, once it's not new anymore, I guess. it's
after 2
happy
days?
Year. Just say happy year to people when you see them now.
Happy year.
Happy year.
Happy year.
What?
Well, do you know, we are a pessimistic tribe as human beings, because I was reading something the other day, and it said that for all of the commitments and all these resolutions and all these promises we make ourselves drunkenly on December the 31st about what we're going to give up, what we're going to stop, what we're going to start, what we're going to take on, so on and so forth, 85% of commitments and resolutions at this point have already failed.
So by the end of January, 85% of people have already reneged on their commitments.
Yeah, they have. And part of that is probably intent or ambition or drive or motivation. Maybe someone says, you know, I'm going to get fit and I'm going to go out for a 3-mile run. And they haven't ran in 4 years. And then that's just too ambitious and too much. And the body says, no, you can't do this. So they just give up because it's too hard. But yeah, I was reading on this the other day that 85% of resolutions fail. So I decided to take a very different approach to resolutions this year.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate on that? Share some?
Yeah, I don't have one.
That's your different attitude. See, for me, I think the difference there is I think you need to be realistic with them. Like, you know, you're not... Are you going to run a marathon in a month? Are you going to lose 7 stone in a month? It's not going to happen. What you have to do is set realistic and iterative goals throughout the year and achieve those little milestones. And they're the ones that help you get to where you want to be in the end. So you will get to that point you set out to do at the beginning of your resolution, but you've got to have something to spring load you into the next part of that. Because without it, it just feels like too big an ask, you know?
You're right. You're right. And it is about chunking down, isn't it? So, like you said, running a marathon in a month. Well, I mean, if you break down 26 miles into 30 days, that that's more palatable. But we just don't think like that. But and I did tell a slight fib. I do have one goal, one resolution.
Okay. And do you want to share that with the audience?
I will say finish this season.
No, yeah, and we weren't going to talk about it. We have had some external influences that stopped us from doing some of the recording, some of the writing for this. But we're making a promise now live on air that we're going to get this finished in the next few weeks for you. Season 2 will be complete. The Last Resort Camp Holiday Saga will be complete hopefully by the end of February. Not make I can't promise.
It will. We will be that 15% of people that actually finish the series. No, I think we owe. I mean, the story's already mapped. We know what's happening. So the writing is certainly not going to be rushed, and we want to reiterate that the quality that you've come to expect, however low that is will be maintained. But we have Steve and I have definitely committed to finishing, and we've been writing furiously and building the story and completing all of those character arcs and threads that we've been creating right through, because this is, I think we are now officially a year into this series. Actually,
we started in it was about February time
last year. February,
that we kicked off. So yeah, it's been a long haul for people, bless them. But we have had, I think we're 16 episodes in of the actual script, and we've got a few specials in there too. So we haven't robbed people of stuff. We've had at least monthly stuff that people can listen to. So hopefully, thank you for bearing with us. We have got something for you today. So sit down, relax, put your feet up. Not if you're driving. That's a really bad idea. And listen in for more fun down at Camp Holidays. Interior, Donna's caravan, morning. Donna walks into the bedroom and sits down on the bed. Dan has his back to her as he lays deep in sleep. Donna looks at him for a few seconds, goes to wake him, and suddenly changes her mind. She stands up from the bed and makes her way to the door. Morning, babe. Donna stops at the door and turns to see Dan, a tired and sheepish look on his face, as he smiles and reaches out to her. Oh, I didn't mean to wake you. Sorry. Oh, what time is it? It's 9:30. Oh, it's early. Oh, go back to sleep. We can talk later. Donna, babe, don't be silly. Sit down. Come on, talk to me now. I'm awake. I'm up. Donna seems reluctant, but complies and walks back into the room. She sits down on the bed, staring down at her hands. Dan studies her for a moment and then tries to change the subject. Did you have a nice time with Sam last night then? Donna nods her head. I bet it's great having her around occasionally. Not so good for Adam, though. He was a right old mess. Then in the pub, guess who bloody turned up? Dan, listen, we need to talk. Dan stops mid-sentence and looks both panicked and shocked. Donna, don't do that. I know what you're going to say. What did you think I was going to say? Whenever someone says we need to talk, it's never a good thing. About our situation. Babe, I've told you, I'm here for you, for us. And if you're, up the duff, then I'm definitely not going anywhere. Dan reaches out to Donna, looking for an embrace. She doesn't lean into him, so he takes her hand instead. If it's a boy, we'll call him Happy, after my favourite movie. And if it's a girl, then it's got to be Crystal Rose. Pure class. Dan smiles, trying to bring some humour into the conversation. I'm not pregnant, Dan. It was a false alarm. Dan processes this information for a few seconds. Well, how do you know? Did you get a test or something? No, I don't need to. I came on this morning, full on cramps and everything. A look of relief on Dan's face betrays his concern. How do you feel about that, though? Honestly, I don't know. We're both not ready to be parents yet, but it does mean we have to be more careful. I know. The rhythm method it's not an effective form of protection either. Fair enough. Well, at least it means we can chill together for a bit, you know. You cool now? Not really, no. I think we both need to really think about our future, our careers. This scare's got me thinking. I like to think we're building a future together, that we're going somewhere, you know? Donna, I'm 100% all in with you. You're the woman of my dreams and all that. I know you are. But having a plan for the future is what I want too. Well, it's a bit hardy being on a seasonal contract and all. About that, I think the main auntie position at the creche might be up for grabs soon. I'd like to go for it. I think it's permanent, you know. Okay, but what does that mean? Well, I'll get made full time, more money and stuff. The biggest thing would be that I wouldn't be able to live on resort anymore. I'd have to get a place in town. Dan contemplates Donna's words for a moment. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, though? Donna pauses before looking at Dan. It is. I do. Well, come here and give me a hug. You know me. Of course I'm with you all the way. Donna smiles back, looking relieved. She leans in and hugs Dan. Dan hides his face from Donna's shoulder. A look of deep concern spreads across his face. Interior, boardroom, morning. Glenn is sat at the top spot on the boardroom table. Alan, John, Mark, and Judy all sit down on one side as Glenn finishes reading the newspaper article. He drops the paper down onto a pile and looks at everyone, watching him expectantly. We're a hit! Alan claps his hands in joy. Both Mark and Judy look instantly relieved. Looks like most of the press didn't notice the last-minute changes, and the only mention of the power cut was a slight technical glitch. You lot pulled it off. Well done.
I'd say that's some bloody teamwork, if you ask me.
And the visionary Judy, I'm really wrong, but when I am, I'm a big enough man to admit it. You did good last night.
Thank you, Glenn.
So I'd like you to take over all the professional shows until the end of the season. Do more with the Slovakian acts, paying a fortune for them, and they're barely a slideshow at the moment. Can you build something great around them?
Yes, of course, Glenn. Leave that with me.
Great. How quick? Judy looks to Mark and Alan.
Well, how quick do you need it, Glenn?
As soon as is humanly possible. We've already wasted time on that shit show De Costa. We need to strike now and fast.
Well, I suppose I could have something ready within a few weeks.
That's no good, Judy. I need it quicker than that. There's an awkward pause. Mark coughs and steps in.
Well, you see, Glenn, there's a show to write, choreograph, casting, rehearsals, costumes, etc. That all takes time.
Glenn eyes Mark carefully. And yet, this amazingly talented choreographer and director managed to pull a show out of midair in just 45 minutes last night. Are you saying it can't be done? Judy steps in before Mark can respond.
You shall have it in 5 days.
Good. Make it 3. I'd like to see it before I leave. Judy nods and immediately gets up, excuses herself, and walks to the door. Glenn stops her before she can leave. Pull this off, Judy, and you'll be rewarded handsomely. There's no budget, and I don't expect any additional costings. A chance for you to be creative.
I understand.
Judy leaves the room. Now, guys, I want to talk about merchandise. Ooh, so a couple of scenes there to unpick. So
Chew over.
Yeah. So Donna's not pregnant. After all that, We thought we were going to have our first camp baby, but it's not happening. What are your thoughts?
Camp baby.
I
Well, firstly, a question.
go.
What is the rhythm method?
I think that's your writing, so you know damn well what the rhythm
I
method
definitely did not put that in. I definitely did not put rhythm method. I'm sorry. I don't even know what that means.
is. The rhythm method is essentially making sure you're aware of your beat and removing yourself from the situation in sufficient time.
Like
so
a mouth
that,
beat, like a
well, that is a
like that.
type of beat, but if you think of your own rhythm, your personal rhythm, when you're intimate with somebody, then the rhythm method
Like
essentially is,
how fast your heart is going.
yeah.
Like,
So
like that.
you just want me to say, make sure you pull out in time, aren't you? You just that's all you're looking to do.
Is
But that,
that
yeah,
the is that
essentially
what's called the rhythm? That is
yeah,
genuinely the rhythm method. Just
yeah,
making sure you
yeah, just making sure that you are aware of your rhythm and when you pass the point of no return and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised you had a scare then. That doesn't
Mm.
work. Everyone knows that.
Well, look, it worked for my parents, and all 17 of my brothers and sisters were absolutely. No, I'm just kidding.
You beat me to the joke. You beat me to the joke.
I didn't beat you to anything.
Well, I mean, Donna's obviously, and that's human nature to have a bit of a scare and then to think about the future, isn't it?
Well, it puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Because it makes things really real. Because as we talked about in the past with this with this script that this microcosm, this micro environment can be really. It's almost away from reality. You're kind of removed from the real world. You have your accommodation. You've got your everything's in this small um like dome almost. You're living under a dome. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly the real world kicks in and real world problems, and it makes you really think about, like you say, the future and things. So yeah,
And
definitely.
is Crystal Rose a classy name?
I don't think it is, but I think to in my mind it isn't anyway. Apologies to all the Crystal Roses out there. It isn't.
Is there many Crystal Roses out there? Hyphenated first name?
I'm unaware. It's the sort of thing you'd have to ask Mark Wahlberg, I think. There, yeah, I think it's one of those things that that Dan considers classy. It's down his way.
Crystal Rolls from Salford.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Judi Dench is a great first name for
Yeah.
any particular girl that's coming along.
Or just call her Dench for sure.
Just
Yeah.
call it Dench. Dench is really good. It's nicer than chlamydia, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I once saw somebody in a high street shout their daughter. They hadn't called her Champagne. It wasn't sort of the only way as Essex type of thing. They called her Lambrini. Lambrini. Shout for the child Lambrini.
Is that in your neck of the woods? Is it?
It was in not my neck of the woods. I just like to point out, but I was in a neighbouring town. Yeah.
Lambrini. Well, I mean, it's better than Lambrusco, I suppose. That's the more market kind of sparkling.
I know. Well, then the little brother wine called Buckfast joined them at the back. So
that's definitely a Scottish thing. Bucky for short. Bucky McDougal.
Bucky McDougal. Wow. Okay. On the other point, Judy has essentially got Bernie's old job.
And back to square one. It feels like that we've gone right back to the beginning, haven't we? With put me on a show.
Yeah, and I think she's gonna elaborate on what they did. She already had plans in place, didn't she? She was ready for Bernie's downfall, and so now she's prepared for what's going on in terms of putting something together. I think she's had this in her back pocket for a while, so I think she's going to be able to pull it off.
So do I. And building a show around our elusive and rather absent Slovakian friends.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of them in this season. We know there's a family there, Sergey and the kids and his brothers and what have you. So it'll be interesting to see what part they play. And let's just hope they're not as accident prone as their predecessors. Well, why don't we jump back into another scene and see what's going on?
Yep.
Interior, Adam's caravan. Morning. Adam comes out of his bedroom and walks into the lounge area. Paul, almost naked, in just a pair of tatty boxer shorts, is sitting on a chair. Adam walks to the sink, dishes stacked up, and pours himself a glass of water.
All right, mate.
Adam turns to Paul to see what he's doing. He watches him for a few moments.
What the hell are you doing? What do you mean? Exactly that, Paul. What are you doing? I'm cleaning my fingernails. No, you are scraping whatever crap that's accumulated under those disgusting claws you call fingers with my frickin' paring knife. Well, what else am I supposed to use? There isn't any scissors. No. Oh. Not my bloody paring knife. Paul, we cook with that for crying out loud. I'll clean it afterwards. I don't see what the problem is. I use it all the time.
Adam tries to hold back his gag reflex. Paul finishes with the knife, gets up, walks to the sink. He turns on the tap and holds it under the cold water, taking it out and flicking it dry.
Here, your knife, all clean.
Adam looks down at the knife, full of disgust, and back to Paul.
Keep it. Just... It's yours, all right? Have it. Aw, mate, are you sure? Look, while we're both here, this place is getting in a right old state. Think you can do some cleaning up? Well, I kind of just wanted to chill today, mate. At the very least, let's just do the dishes, yeah? Together. I'll wash, you dry. Why don't you dry? Why do I have to dry? What do you mean? It makes no never mind who does what. Wrong. It's a world of difference. Washing just requires you to put the plates in the sink, bit of a clean, and then on the draining board. Drying requires you to pat it down, stack them up, and put them away. It's 3 times as much work. Are you actually taking the piss? My logic stands. Fine. You wash, and I'll dry.
Paul nods his head and clatters around the sink, looking for the plug. He turns on the tap and begins filling the sink.
Where's the washing up liquid? If we have some, I have never seen it. I bought a bottle last week. How have you cleaned the dishes before? Well, I just rinsed them under the tap.
Adam looks at Paul.
So where has it gone? I think I might have used it as shower gel. My Lynx Africa ran out.
Adam clearly looks annoyed and is about to say something. Paul walks away to the bathroom and quickly returns with Adam's washing up liquid, squeezing the green liquid into the sink.
You were back early last night. Crap one, was it? I don't really want to talk about it. I'm getting pretty fed up myself. I mean, the funfair duties is pretty steady, but I'm just by myself quite a lot. Gaffer is a bit of a dick too. From what I've seen, you spend most of the time sleeping anyway. That's only in the mornings. I'm thinking of a change. What kind of change? Spoke to a lad in town. I can get a pretty decent paying bar job. Got in amongst the ladies again, you know. I'm not getting anywhere where they're slappers round here. Maybe that's why, mate. Oh, maybe it's because you've tainted my rep. What's that supposed to mean? Anyway, I reckon if I get this job, it'll be made. It comes with a bedsit above the bar and everything.
And Paul is quickly skimming over the dishes and stacking them far too fast for Adam to keep up. We can still see bits of food and sauce stuck to the plates as Adam picks them up. Upon hearing what Paul has just said, Adam's eyes light up.
You know, Paul, you should totally do that. 100%. Oh, it's a bit of a risk, though. Staying here means I have that security. True, yeah, but it's like you've said, You want excitement and adventure. No more dealing with camp coats and stuff. No more dealing with a crap manager or a really bad roommate who you hate. Plus, this place is only seasonal. A bar in town, you'd have a job for life. This is true. If it were me, I'd definitely go and do that. Would you? 100%, mate. Just think, all that access to the local talent, drunk girls from all over the country, partying every night. A guy like you, you'd have the pick of the bunch. It's a no-brainer. Well, some good points made there. I wouldn't think about it. Just do it, Paul.
Paul nods his head and makes a contemplatory face as there is a knock on the door.
Come in.
Robin meekly steps into the caravan.
Robin?
Yeah, hi. Sorry for bothering you. Judy has asked for you. We've all been called in for the rehearsal room for some reason.
Oh, right. Well, it's like my day off today, mate.
It's just I've just been told to get you. They're calling a few of us in.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. I'll see you down there then. Robin leaves the caravan.
Wonder what that's all about.
Paul clatters the cutlery onto the draining board and empties the sink. He lifts up the dishcloth he's been using and squeezes it dry. Adam notices.
Really, Paul? What? My boxers. Used as a dishcloth. Quit your whinging. Dishes are done and they've had a good clean as well. 2 birds, 1 stone. You're welcome. I'm honestly surprised you haven't got some flesh-eating disease. Or I have, for that matter. Fit as a butcher's dog, me, mate. And smell like one. Look, have a good day, Paul, yeah?
Adam walks towards his room, leaving the stack of plates on the draining board. Paul walks back to his chair and begins constructing his roll-up cigarettes. Well, Paul? Wow, that man. Is it possible for someone to make your skin crawl that you've never even seen? There's something about him that just makes me go, ah.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations that people won't quite believe that really happened.
Yeah.
So and you know, because you were there too. So yes, the inspiration came from someone who we live with, who we talked about previously, who was cleaning their nails with Steve's paring knife, actually. And I remember you going crazy about it. Like, I was sitting there and I was watching this happen and I hadn't said a word to him. And then you came in and you was like, you were looking for the knife, actually. And you went, where's my knife? And then you looked across and he was clearing his ganky, horrible yellowing nails with this knife. And I remember your face. Do you remember?
I still have like that throw up in the mouth sensation whenever I think about it, because that was the potato. We used to use that knife to peel potatoes and all sorts. And then
that was the only knife we had. It was the only sharp knife.
Only sharp knife. And then he'd sit there just getting it under his nails, pulling all the black gunk out of it. And then he'd just like wipe it on his leg and put it in the cupboard. It was like, no,
it's true. I remember. I just remember looking at you, and you just went, "Are you going to clean that properly?" And he went, "Why?" That was it. There was enough said.
Yeah,
enough said.
Exactly.
And the whole no, I don't think he ever. The whole washing up liquid thing, he did use washing up liquid as shower gel.
Yeah,
but I don't. I think we had separate washing up liquid.
We did. It wasn't a little bit of artistic license in that one, yeah. But and the situation around the moving to another job, 100% true. That we did encourage him to go for another role outside of the resort in a purely selfish manner of getting him out of our caravan.
It was. I remember sitting around the table and he said, "I've got this idea," and we were just like,
we just looked at each other, just did the eye thing to one side, like looking at each other like connection. This is our opportunity. Let's get this guy out.
And we never saw him again after that.
I don't know what happened to him.
He's probably still in that bar.
Yeah, might be.
Living in that bedsit.
Okay, I think we've got room for another couple of scenes, maybe. So let's crack on. Interior rehearsal room day. On one side of the room, the Slovakian circus performers are huddled in a corner, speaking in the native tongue. A number of campcoats and performers are at the opposite side, talking quietly and asking each other questions about the reason for their attendance today. Judy enters the room from the rear. She's wearing a leotard, leg warmers, and a Pineapple Dance Studios hoodie.
Performers! I don't know what that was.
Has she been smoking again? What's going on?
It must have been. Hello. Okay. Hello. Of course, the performers are in the corner of the room. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what it was? A combination of? I was going to say it was either David Attenborough or was it General Greenback from Danger Mouse?
Yeah. Okay.
Go again. It's fine.
Performers. I can't get that out of my head now.
I'll get you, Danger Mouse.
Not Greenback. Okay, Judy. Performers.
Sorry, you did set me up for that one.
Performers, everyone, hush, hush.
The room falls to silence, and the gap in the centre of the dance studio decreases as the groups spread to look in Judy's direction, desperate for an update.
As you're all aware, Bernie has been relieved of his duties, and as such, I have been asked to take charge of putting on a show to really showcase the resort.
There's an enthusiastic round of applause from the campcoats. On noticing this, the Slovakians concede to the custom and join in with a ripple of clapping themselves, though most look confused.
Now, we have a lot of work to do, and very little time to do it. Alison.
I thought that was a very good Gillian Anderson, Margaret Thatcher.
The
lady's not for turning.
Well, you know.
Ali looks around as if surprised to hear her name called.
Ali, yes, there you are. You will be our new head girl. I expect you to lead with integrity, by example, and to my very high standards and expectations.
Ali looks shocked as her friends pat her on the back and ruffle her hair.
Sergei, your family have patiently waited for your time to perform, and with that in mind, I want you all to be more central to our production.
Sergei nods appreciatively.
Da. So with that in mind, Tatiana, your rope act will be the centerpiece of the show. Adam, I want you to partner with Tatiana, bringing forth presence and passion. I want you both to operate as a single unit. Chemistry. Tell me a love story. I have some songs and choreography that will complement Tatiana's act and to tell a story of tragic romance.
Robin whispers to Ali. Red rag to a bull, that one. They both momentarily giggle. Adam looks over at Tatiana and Riley smiles. Tatiana looks down shyly before shuffling her feet slightly.
Right, both of you. Front and centre.
Adam and Tatiana take to the centre of the room gingerly. The rest of the cast slowly circle the pair, watching intently.
Adam, you are a Romeo-like character. Tatiana is your Juliet. Think you can handle that? I'll give it a go.
Adam winks to some of the cast, who mostly groan and pull faces in return. Judy grabs Adam by the arm and brings him behind Tatiana. She stands behind Adam, controlling his movements, as if he were a puppet. Sergei looks on with concern.
Right. Place your hands on her hips.
Adam, slowly and reluctantly, lightly places his hands on the top of her hips.
Oh, come now, Adam. Don't be shy. I think that's part of the problem. That'll be a first.
Adam makes a more definite motion and places his hands firmly on her hips. Tatiana looks up through her long eyelashes at Adam, and the crack of a smile hits the corner of her mouth. Ali whispers to Robin again.
Here we go. I know that look.
Robin laughs along with a few other cast members. Sergei also takes a step forward, as if to protest. Judy turns around sharply at the rest of the cast.
Is there something you wish to say? Oh, no, Judy. I'm sorry. We were just talking. We are not paying you to talk. Focus, all of you. I'm not happy. He cannot touch like this. No touching.
Tatiana immediately starts yelling back at her father in their native tongue. Sergei's voice booms as it echoes through the dance studio. The rest of the performers stand watching him.
Enough!
Tatiana and Sergei immediately stop as Judy takes command.
Sergei, I understand what you are saying, but this is not your daughter right now. This is the pivotal moment in our show. This is a performance. I assure you that Adam will be nothing short of respectful and professional at all times.
The cast can't help sniggering. Even Robin is trying to hold in a laugh.
Alison, take the cast next door. You will start working on the opening act. The CD's over there. Please work with Sergei. He's opening the show, so you need to choreograph the first dance act. I'll be in shortly to oversee.
The cast start moving towards the door and filter out. Sergei still left behind. Judy holds her ground and stares directly at him.
They are in safe hands, Sergei. Now, if you please.
Judy motions to the door. He turns and leaves, muttering under his breath. Tatiana turns to face Adam, smiles and giggles. Adam smiles back, and Judy sees this.
Adam, a word.
Adam walks over to Judy, and she walks him to the door.
I cast you in this part because I need your passion and charisma. Quite frankly, out of everyone here, you're the only one I can realistically put with her. I want complete professionalism. Do you understand? Of course, Judy. I'll be 100% professional at all times. You can trust me. Good. Now, let's get back to work.
Exterior, main car park, day. It's a windy day, and a small Camp Holidays offer leaflet dances across the car park. A large Mercedes car pulls into an empty space. Out of the driver's door, we see Donna's dad, Tony. He stands, straightens his shirt before opening the rear door, grabbing a jacket and slipping it on. Coincidentally, Donna is striding across the car park on her way to reception, her hands filled with paperwork.
Princess! Hey, Donna!
Donna looks up in shock to see her father standing a few yards in front of her. Dad? What are you doing here?
Sorry, charming! A man drives all the way to see his only daughter, and that's the welcome he gets?
Oh, shush. That's not what I meant. Oh, how lovely to see you, Daddy. You came all this way to see me.
Of course. I mean, I do have some business up here, but I thought maybe you and Dan might like to, meet me for dinner tonight. My treat.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, I don't think Dan will be able to make it, though. He's working tonight, but it'd be great to see you anyway.
Right. Well, I'll pick you up from here about 7 then, Princess.
Brilliant. I look forward to it.
Well, good. I better go. Got some calls to make. I'll see you later. Love you.
Tony opens his car door and begins to climb in. Love you too, Daddy. Donna smiles as Tony pulls out of the car park, papping his horn playfully, making Donna giggle.
I'm not sure how I felt about that then. Just say love you too, Daddy, again.
No, I'm not doing that for you. I know you've got your phone ready to record at that point, so no, it's not happening.
Well, it's all happening now.
Yes, isn't it just?
Do we remember Tony? Do we need to do we remember Tony's little journey?
I think most people are aware. Don't Tony's the proprietor of a string of adult stores, and he had his prototype doll that he became acquainted with that looked somewhat familiar to Dan when he saw it. If you're not sure,
he
go and
created
listen back.
Yeah. We won't spoil it. Go and listen back if that intrigues you. But he did create a sex doll, and that's in our Christmas episodes.
Wow. So Tony's back though, and he's there to see Donna and that. So it seems a strange one that he's in town because it's obviously his sex shops are all down south. So strange that it'd be up that way on business, but nice that he'd pop in and see his daughter, and have a bit.
How did he get on resort? Did he pay just for that 2 seconds of getting on resort? Or do you think they just allowed him to use the car park?
I don't think we need to worry about that too much. I reckon it's just a case of he's popped in. I remember my mum coming to visit me to drop some stuff off, and they let you on for a bit, give you a family pass, don't they, for a short time? There you can come and sort it out. And he's an influential businessman. He's charmed his way in there, hasn't he? So.
He is.
That's cool. What do we reckon about the new show then, and Adam being paired with Tatiana? Do you think that's a recipe for disaster, or
100%. 100%. I mean, any listener that's followed us and followed the trials and tribulations of Adam will know that can only end in perhaps disaster or something. Maybe, well, Adam has said he's going to be professional and true to his word. That's the test. Let's see if he can.
Well, only time will tell. We'll see what comes off there. He may be 100% professional about things, and it goes completely without incident. But then it wouldn't be camp holidays, and it certainly wouldn't be the last resort, would it?
And I think I know it was only a line, but I think it's quite telling how the rest of the cast feel about Adam. He doesn't seem to have many friends at the moment. He doesn't seem to have many allies, does he?
Well, the thing is, he was well liked, and I think his behaviour this season, his womanizing and his neglectfulness when he's been with people, I think that's been telling. People have witnessed that, they've seen it, and it doesn't endear people at the end of the day. So, we'll see. Is there any redemption for Adam, or is he a lost cause? Who knows?
Who knows?
On that note, then, Mike, I think we've only really got time for your final thought for the episode for us, just to give us that little bit of inspiration until we return with our next installment. So, what are your thoughts for the week?
My final thought is this, dear listeners: sharp metal objects should not be used for hygiene purposes unless they are specifically designed for it. Ever. Because it's disgusting.
I think that's quite fair enough. Thank you for joining us, everybody, here on Bad Scripts Presents The Last Resort. We will see you next time on the next episode. Until then, from me and from Mike, thank you and goodbye. Bad Scripts was written and performed by Mike Garlia and Steve Jones, a Beach Tide production.